So good morning everyone, and welcome back to Fort Lauderdale and the Port Everglades. Unfortunately, this has mean we are back from the sea, from our Disney cruise vacation, and we are back to land, which means we have to get off the ship today. So this morning I'm gonna go around, take a couple little extra pictures. I've got my brand new Bon Voyage shirt here on the front, and if you can see it over there in the back. So I'm gonna take some pictures of this, but also just go check out everything there is to see. Once it gets to about 7:30, I'm gonna come back down, help Kayla get some things packed up, and then at 8, we have to be out of the room, heading down for breakfast this morning, and then we will have to disembark from the beautiful Disney dream. So make sure you guys do hang out with us today as we do disembark today from our Disney cruise vacation. It was a good one, but I'm not ready to go back to the real world. So one of the main things is that if you are coming, when you do disembark, you can either do one of two things. You can either eat up here at Cabanas for breakfast, or you can go to the sit-down location that you ate dinner at the night before. So for us, we had breakfast, we had dinner at Animator's Palette last night. So we're gonna be heading back to Animator Palette for dinner, or for breakfast this morning. So there's kind of two ways it comes to disembarking off of a Disney cruise. You have the first way, which is what's called express walk-off. Now what this means is that you carry all of your bags with you, and you are standing down on deck 3 at the point to get onto the ship at 7 a.m. Because 7 a.m. is about the time that they will allow you to get off of the ship. This is usually used for those who do have kind of an earlier flight this morning, who maybe need to get somewhere. This is a great spot for them to use to get off the ship. The second way you can also do it is that you can do normal walk-off. What they do is they give you a character's luggage tag. So like ours this morning is Orange Goofy. So what we're gonna be waiting on is we're waiting for Orange Goofy to get called. From that point, the bags that we've sent down have been sent down to the terminal. We will go down, and wherever Orange Goofy is, we'll pick up our suitcases from there. Now we do have one suitcase, one bag, my backpack, and Kayla's Kavu to carry, but it's better than 2 more luggage bags and everything else. So that is what we like to do. It just gives us a chance to kind of enjoy the ship a little bit more before we do have to leave the ship one last time. So that's what we like to do, but everyone does it a little bit differently. It's all based around what plans do you have when you get off the ship. But I will say, I will absolutely miss the views of this ship. The biggest thing I'm really upset about was the second full day at sea, the aqueduct was closed due to high winds. But we at least were able to get on it at least once. But we never swam in these pools, and we did only very little swimming on this trip. Now, it didn't help that Kayla was sick the very first day, and it was a Marvel day at sea, so not a lot to do, but right now I'm just kind of checking out all of the things to see. Right now we are already docked. We are actually tied up about 6:15 this morning. We pulled into Fort Lauderdale this morning at around 5:45. And that's kind of the thing, is the ships get in very early, and they have about 12 and a half, 14 hours to turn the ship around before not only the next set of guests have to get on, but then getting the ship prepared. So getting it fueled, all the necessary food, the captain can get the coordinates all set for the next round. But I just like coming up here before everything, because it is always nice and quiet, so where I can get some really good pictures and all that really fun stuff they have. Plus, just to get the last little bit of views. Also, it is very cold this morning for what I was expecting it to be. We left when it was like in the mid 70s, and I think this morning when we docked, it's like in the 60s. So I was definitely not prepared for that either. So kind of one of those things you kind of have to keep in mind. Ooh, I found kind of a spot where it's not as windy. But that was like, I was able to finally turn my phone over. I turned my phone off airplane mode, turned the data back on, and gave it about 30 minutes to catch up on everything. Because unless you buy internet, even if you do buy internet, you still want to turn your phone to airplane mode, for the sole reason of you just don't want to be charged if you don't have an international plan. Now, a lot of companies do offer a cruise package or a international plan. So something, if you need to keep in touch, you can. But the point of cruising is to disconnect and get away from it all. If you do need your obligatory caffeine hit, the Coke Cafe is open for coffee if you need it. However, I'm not going to spend the money on that because we've already closed out our accounts. But I am going to head down to the drink station to get a hot chocolate to keep myself nice and toasty this morning. I really would like to know, and this is just a genuine question I have, how much ice cream does a 5-night cruise go through, especially the soft serve ice cream. Every time I saw there was someone getting ice cream, I know for a fact me and Kayla were averaging between 3 to 5 cones a day. So I really just want to know how much ice cream is consumed on a Disney cruise. Now, one of the big things that is recommended to do is that if you would like a copy of your charges to the room, you need to do it before you get off the ship. You can either do it by downloading it in the app, or you can come down to guest services and they will print it off for you. If you do not get it, it is really, really difficult to get it after the cruise is said and done. So just keep that in mind. Guest service does stay open pretty much all the way around. Even as the ship is boarding, guest services will be open. One of my big tips is that if you want to shop for Disney Cruise Line merchandise or like Disney Dream, like specific merchandise, make sure you do it like the first couple of days, because the reason why is last night they had started actually to run out of a lot of the merch. Now they seem like they've already got some already put out, but I think what a lot of this is, it's for the next sailing that will be happening. So like my mom talked about that. There were very little, like there's not even very many lounge flies, there's not very many cups left, not many ears, lots of the Spirit jerseys. I'm not a fan of the new Dream Spirit jersey, but the towel, my mom was really on the fence about the towel, but then it was gone, so she's like, I'm okay with it then. So keep that in mind. The first couple days, you definitely want to do that. And especially like us, when we go on a new ship, we really want the ship model. We were trying to collect the bronze statues, but they did not have the bronze statues when we were on the Dream the last time. So make sure you collect all that specific stuff. Now the stuff like in the back, like the specific like generic Disney Cruise Line stuff, that stuff will be here most of the way all the way through because it's the same stuff on all the ships. But when it's ship specific, make sure you try to get it the first couple days. Also, try not to do your shopping in between the first and second dining and shows. That like 7 to 8 time frame, this entire area is hectic. The atrium is hectic. Everything is absolutely insanely hectic. So just keep that in mind as you just, if you want to do your shopping, once we're out in international waters or you have a day at sea, come do your shopping then, because they are open from like 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. every single day when we're out at sea. If you're not, then it's always like 5 p.m. or something like that. So make sure you just do that shopping later, or even later in the evening as well. As long as those first couple of days, you should be able to still get your Disney Dream merchandise. One of the big things that I always try to make sure people understand, so I'm walking up here, walking up to shutters, you have to, if you want to download anything or you want to do anything of that nature, you have to do it before you walk off this ship. Once you walk off the ship, your photos are gone and you cannot, there's no way to retrieve them. They do not save them. They do not keep them around. So keep that in mind. So you can still come up, get it downloaded, and still check them out or get things printed. But I want to show you guys really quickly. So like I said, if you are doing express walk off, this is the line you'll kind of wait in. They're getting ready to start letting people off. And so they actually close off. So when you come off, if you come off the midship elevators, they make you actually go off and up and around underneath, just so that people do not cut the line, they don't step in the way. But yep. Now, what I am hoping is that they do have the cool facial recognition passport system, which all that means is that you do not have to present your passport. They will face scan your face, and if it's good, off the ship you go, because they did that on the Treasure, and apparently they started it at Fort Lauderdale before it went to Port Canaveral. Another thing I like to tell people is that Debarkation can last a while. The last time we were on the Dream, we came in at Miami, and we had dinner at like 8:15, or breakfast like 8 o'clock, and then they did not call our group until 10 a.m. So just be mindful that that debarkation can take a while, just all depends. Now, because this is a Disney port, this is only one who comes in and out of this port is Disney, should be a little bit quicker to get on and off, but be mindful that it can take a while if you do not do express walk off. The other thing, what I always like to talk about, I like to talk about the beds. The beds on the Disney cruises are some of the most comfortable beds. And what's actually funny is you can actually buy said mattresses if you like. They are extremely expensive and they do come from Europe. But if you really find yourself that you really like these beds the most, you can actually buy them. Now, I can't remember the name. If I do remember it, I'll put it like here somewhere so you guys can, if you guys are interested in it, or if you've ever been on a cruise, Disney cruise, and you're curious of which mattresses they use, that's the ones they use. These elevators had the logo like they did on the Treasure, where there's a big mirror and it's a Disney Treasure. I wish all the elevators had that, because that was always such a cool photo op. Oop, deck 11. Also, just be mindful that cabanas more than likely will only have one side open due to some of the crew having to get ready to turn around the ship. So like the back side here is not open for any food items, and they only have one side. So they will tell you. So like this morning, it's the starboard side is open for breakfast, but not the port side, and the only side, and then you have your 3 sit-down locations, and that's why a lot of the crew member are being kind of used in other places. I really want to grab just myself a quick little chocolate milk to drink this morning before I go take my photos. You know, I really hope they have. I really wish they would have the Mickey churro waffles. Those are probably some of my favorite waffles I've ever had. But you can see you can get a little bit busy up here because people now are waiting to leave. And especially if they're going to be doing express walk-off, they may have already come up, eaten, and are already downstairs. So it can get busy up here if you decide to eat at cabanas. Well, they are starting also to prep the pool deck for the next wave of guests to arrive onto the ship. I mean, some other people are about to enjoy every aspect of this ship and everything the cruise line has to offer. And we have to go home. I don't find that fair one bit. Even though it is fair, I don't find it fair. And I can say it's not fair because we have to get off the ship today. All right, one last look around the room. Like I said, a family stateroom veranda, sleeping up to 4 to 5. It's actually a lot more space than I was anticipating, but I'm very happy with it. The Murphy bed is super comfortable from what my sister said. Our bed was extremely comfortable as well. I just can't imagine 2 more people in this room. If we had 4 people, 4 or 5 adults, I think it would have been insane, but well, it's been a good home for the last 5 days. Now it's time to go back home. Well, it is the last breakfast of the cruise. This is always the worst breakfast because it is the last one. So I ended up getting a ham and cheese omelet, and of course because of the hash browns, so I'm very happy, and the French toast as well. So last time someone else will be serving me food, I'll have to make my own moving forward. And with that, that is the last meal we'll have on this trip on the Disney Dream. Our servers, Francis and Jerome, were amazing. If you are coming onto the Dream, I highly recommend asking for at least Francis, because I think Jerome will still be with him for a little bit. But Jerome said saying it sound like that he is learning to become a main server as well. But unfortunately, it is time. We're heading to the spot where we started the vacation and where it ends the vacation. Pretty much in the parking lot. But we gotta go through the gang, we gotta get scanned off the ship, and then time to go pay for parking, and then 3.5 hour drive back home. And pretty much now we are in the line to leave the ship. It is quite hectic. This is why I normally like to wait till the very last minute, just so we don't have to wait in a super long line, but this is the reason why they do close off the mid-shift elevators on deck 3 to avoid any issues. And so, but pretty much everyone has been allowed to been taken off. Everyone's allowed to get off the ship now. Continue about our business wherever our next travels take us. For us, home we go. And just like that, we are now officially off the ship for this trip. Don't know next time we'll be on the Dream though, because it's heading to Europe next summer again. So it all depends. I mean, we said that about the last time we went on the Dream, and less than 2 years later we were back on it. So all just depends. And now to the luggage claim. Officially off the ship. Down, down, down to underneath. Need to find Orange Goofy to find our luggage. Well, after a 3.5, 4 hour drive that included a stop at the Character Warehouse, stop at Sonic, stop dropping our friend off at the airport, and after a little nap, we are officially back home. And yes, it may not be the Disney dream, may not be on the cruise. In fact, the Disney dream is already heading back out to sea as we speak, as it is. But we just got back home. I want to kind of go through our debarkation day and stuff like that. And I also want to do a quick merchandise haul as well. And we actually got some things at the Character Warehouse as well. So I want to show you guys everything we got, and we'll talk a little bit more. And then the next video you guys will see will be a review of our Disney Dream trip. This is our 5th Disney cruise, so I do want to kind of compare it, and we will do a lot of comparison from that point. So let me grab these bags because we still have to get all the bags back in, everything else. Let's go and get all this stuff inside, head to the office, talk more there. I've been really bad because I keep jumping from time to time to time to like hours and hours in between. From the time I filmed me pulling the suitcases out of the car, it's now been 2 more hours. And I'm just now getting down to sit down and talk to you guys. It is currently 9:15 at night. Now, if we were still on the ship, we'd be currently eating dinner, actually probably getting our dessert right now from Francis and Jerome. But unfortunately, that is not the case this go around. So when we left, and the last thing you saw was us going down to get our luggage at the luggage claim. Now, this space is just a giant warehouse. But what they've done is that the color of your luggage tag, so like we were orange Goofy, they had the signs hanging from above and lots and lots and lots of tables. Now, the biggest thing is to make sure that you have some way of identifying your suitcase, because there are a lot of suitcases out that look the same. We have a small Mickey bag that I've had since 2016 now at this point, and a lot of people have that bag. So the way that we identify it is certain ways. So that's one thing you want to make sure you do. The second thing is they did have the facial recognition technology for your passport at customs. What this means is you do not need to walk up to anyone, present your passport, say where you came from, do you have anything to declare. If you had anything to declare, you did have to tell them, and they would then look through it, talk to you about that, and then move on about your day. So at that point, you then get dumped out into the bottom of the parking garage. For Port Everglades, unlike Miami and Port Canaveral, you pay at the end of your trip. So to park at Port Everglades, it is $20 a day, which is actually pretty good because the few times that we've gone out of Miami, it's anywhere from $120 to about $160 to park for a 5-night cruise. For this, it was only $100, so keep that in mind. You do have to pay before you go up to, before you end up leaving. It actually makes the process super quick, scan and go, off you go. And so if you are also getting a connecting flight, or like you're getting transportation to a hotel or transportation to the airport, that will be provided on the first level. They'll have people telling you where to go. It is a little hectic, so make sure you are being mindful of it. It's very loud, lots of happening and everything else. It's just kind of like when you get off the ship. Lots and lots and lots are happening. So that's really kind of all I have. That. Then it's only a nice 3.5 hour drive from Port Everglades back to essentially Walt Disney World, which comparison of going from Disney World or into Port Canaveral, which would rather have that drive instead. But disembarking is a little bit hectic, it's crazy. There's a lot that can be done better with it. But unfortunately, you have close to 3,200 people getting off the ship at once. They've got about a 2 to 3 hour window where they got to get everyone off. Not only everyone off, but everyone needs to be fed. Everyone needs to have their luggage, and they have to be able to get scanned off in one by one. So all 3,200 plus guests have to be scanned off one by one. So just be very patient. If you are able to, just take a few extra minutes before you do anything else, because it gives you time not to be stuck in all those crowds. Hit the bathrooms before you head out. Take a couple of quick pictures like I do. But it's just be patient with it. If you are looking to do that express walk-off, please do that at 7 a.m. The other thing I did notice quite a lot is, so like I talked about, we made sure to put out our luggage tag the night before. One, this meant that we did not have to carry our big, heavy luggage, but that also meant that we only had to carry it a little bit of distance. I saw a lot of people who did not do express walk-off who came to breakfast who had all of their luggage. So I don't know if they didn't understand this or they were just not aware of it or just didn't know. But that's a tip I always say. If you want to do it, make sure you take advantage of it. And it's out. It'll change based on the cruise, but for us, it was 10 p.m. the night before. So our full review will come from another time. What I want to do really quickly is I want to go through some of the merchandise we bought. Not only did we bought, but stuff that we were given. Spoilers, we actually have one thing that we're actually very disappointed in that we got. And I'll actually start with that. I will start with that first. I'm also going to give you kind of a quick heads up. During this cruise, at some point, my camera fell and my screen on the back of the camera ended up falling off. So if I am out of focus or something doesn't focus, I will put in a clip of the item that we do put in. This is mostly going to relate back to the pins and a couple other things, our postcards. I do apologize. I am going to get the camera fixed for that. Hopefully it's not going to cost too much. If it costs too much, at that point I'm just going to commit to getting a new camera instead. The first thing, and it's actually the disappointing thing that we're getting first. Many things you can do is before you get onto the cruise, you could prepay for certain decorations to be in the room. So because this was going over my mom's birthday, we ended up paying for the birthday celebration stateroom decorations where it says it's my birthday. She got a couple really nice pillowcases, a very large beach towel, and signs everywhere that says it's my birthday, it's my day. And she got this really cool and I'm really glad, I really sucked that I didn't get any of this footage. It's like a little shawl that then has little hands that says it's my day, and it's a really cool piece. The other one was the thing that we got. So Kayla had been dying for this blanket set, and this blanket set is $100. Keep this in mind. So first off, you get this pillow. On the front, you have Mickey. Back, you have Captain Minnie. However, look how thin this thing is. Not real thrilled with it. And we kind of went into it knowing that the pillow wasn't going to be that great. So we were like, we'll hold out hope for the blanket. Now, the blanket itself isn't horrible. However, we're so accustomed to the blankets on the ship being really nice. And but you see how it's fuzzy on the underside? It's not great quality. This doesn't feel very, it feels like I could pull it too easily, and it could easily, it's you see the stretching happening. And keep in mind, this was $100. So maybe, but I feel like there were so many other things. Kayla really wanted to do the adventure set then instead. So this by far is probably something I would not recommend to get. We are currently trying to see about maybe if we can get some money back for it or just put our mindset out there. We're just not really the happiest with this quality. So that's pretty much the only thing that we were super upset with. And pretty much Kayla is now calling it. She goes, "Where's my crappy pit blanket?" Well, it's right here. So, oh well, live and you learn, make mistakes. Now, what I am going to show you next is stuff that we actually ended up getting at the character warehouse. It's only 23 minutes away from the port. And the reason why, they had a lot of cruise line stuff on sale. Now, it's because a lot of the merchandise is changing over, the style is changing, and so they're trying to get rid of a lot of it. But this worked out in our favor because we ended up getting a bunch of shirts, and almost all of them averaged out about $10. So about $41 for all 4 of these shirts. So the first shirt is going to be this nice navy blue, and all these are going to be for Kayla, but it says, "Seize the Day, Disney Cruise Line," and you got Donald down there at the bottom. And I do like this shirt a lot, but there was very limited in sizing. There wasn't one of mine, and I'm going to be trying to work on losing a little bit of weight moving forward. So maybe I'll be able to fit in this, no issues. All right, second shirt is going to be this yellow shirt, and on it says "Best Day Ever." And it's actually from Castaway Cay. And this actually worked out really well. It's actually also a 2X, which means for me, I could fit in it right now. The goal is hopefully not to fit in one of these anymore, but I am very pleased with this shirt as a whole because of the fact that, one, it's a very nice shirt, and it's Castaway Cay, and it was $10. Couldn't pass this up. And the third shirt, this one she was a little bit back and forth on if she wanted it or not. But it says Disney Cruise Line, and you got Captain Mickey in the background. And I kind of like this shirt. It's very simple. It's a little bit colorful and it's a little bit different. So again, this is another 2X. This is also only $10. So this is a really cool shirt. Like I said, all 4 of these shirts I'm gonna show you we got from the Character Warehouse. And number 4, this is one Kayla had been dying to find, is the Disney Cruise Line Christmas long sleeve. We'd actually gotten the Tervis that goes with this a while back, and she'd been looking everywhere. We kept going to the Character Warehouse and everything else. Finally, they said the Character Warehouse got a lot of cruise line stuff in stock. And so she had to get this, and this is a really nice shirt. And I like that it's like more embroidered and not quite as like this, like what you see with the other ones. So I feel like this is gonna last a lot better. Plus we don't wear long sleeves as much, so this should be a nice one. And it'd be fun to wear on the ship. And like I said, it's only $12, but originally it was $45. All right, since we're still working on the shirt and long sleeve aspect, we're gonna go through the rest of the shirts we got. And 2 out of the 4 of the next ones we ended up getting were on sale. 3 of these shirts we got on the ship. 1, I got a Castaway Key for $10. The very first thing I got was this thing right here, this button-down shirt. So this button-down shirt, I'm sorry it's a little wrinkly. I did wear this, and so I hadn't had a chance to watch it. But this was on sale for $25. And the only reason why it was on sale, guess what ship it's missing? It is missing the Disney Treasure. So they ended up having this on sale because they're probably going to be bringing out a new button down that has the Treasure and the Destiny and probably the Adventure as well. But I like this button down and I couldn't pass up the price. As you can see, all the different ships on it, little anchors and everything. And like I said, I do apologize for it being wrinkly. I did wear it and I wanted to show you guys. I wore it actually to Castaway Key. So I want to show you guys what we got, what it was. So the next item is going to be the brand new Spirit jersey that was debuted for the Disney Dream. And I'm gonna tell you right now, not a fan of it. So there you go right there. So they redesigned it to be more of like what the ship color is. So that like dark Monica blue on the bottom and the gold and the Mickey on the front, kind of like how it's on the stern. They did keep this sleeve style though, and I like this. But I'm not a fan of this part. There's gold on the back. So it is the stern character with the Sorcerer Mickey and the brooms all painting the Disney Dream on the back of this. But the gold flaking, the gold is what I'm kind of concerned about because I feel like after just a couple washes, this is going to crack more than my current Disney Dream Spirit jersey, which is starting to finally crack. But I've had that one for a little over 2 years now at this point. So this is actually from my friend who I work with, who's been collecting all the Spirit jerseys, even though she's never been on the Dream. She likes the Spirit jerseys for the ships. So this was $85. Keep that in mind. This is $85. The next item is the one I got at Castaway Key for $10. And I saw this shirt and I said I must get it. Bright yellow. I'm a very big fan of the yellow lately, and I don't know why. I mean, it's part of like my logo design, it's part of everything else, but I just like the yellow, it kind of pops. But you see on the front, it says Fun in the Sun, established 1998 Disney Cruise Line. What I like about it on the back, look at the back. I love this design. It's got Mickey in a hammock. It's got the cruise line off in the distance. And again, this was $10. And I really, really liked it a lot. I just could not pass up on it. And now we're on to the last one. And this one was a little, Kayla had a struggle picking out which one she wanted. But she ultimately got this sweatshirt that had Captain Minnie on it. We are a big fan of the Captain Minnie on the cruise ships. We really love her on the Disney Treasure in her Adventure Minnie outfit. This is such a cool jacket. This is cool. It's a little bit lightweight. It's kind of more what you expect to have in Florida. Now this was another full price item. And the last time I remember I checked, it was $45 for it. If I find the receipt, I will update what the cost was. Now to the next couple of things that we ended up getting. So Kayla has got a new, and actually a blanket that she got that actually is a really nice quality that would actually be better off than the blanket we got. But you've got this nice little postcard right here. And it's $3. And I do love this one because of the design. Very cartoony-esque, very Disney-esque. It's made by Joey Chow. So I love his stuff. Joey Chow, I actually have a few things of his artwork, and this is just how I imagine it being. Next thing is, again, pin collectors. Pins everywhere. We collect all the Disney treasure pins, or Disney Cruise Line pins as a whole. You've got Mickey, Disney Dream, Captain Mickey on the Disney Dream. And this was a $15 pin. It was yellow, so I can't even tell what it is. But it's just a simple one with Mickey saluting. And it's kind of what he looks like if he was colorized on the front bow of the ship. And the next one, we got a Castaway Key. And this was actually a brand new one, we think. Is this cute little Mickey. This cute little Mickey and Pluto taking a picture under the Castaway Key sign with the ship in the background. Which is actually funny, they have a ship pacing forward. When at Castaway, you actually see the back of the ship, the aft, for that. So, wouldn't be a Disney cruise if we don't end up with some sort of pins, considering we have a very extensive collection of Disney Cruise Line pins. Now, the last item we ended up buying, this was something Kayla was actually very excited about. So we see this all the time, and it always sells out super fast. It's going to be this magnet set. So it says, bring a bit of character to your stateroom door. So what you have in the middle right there is you have today's agenda with Mickey, Captain Minnie says, welcome aboard, today's agenda. And then all of these little pieces all come out and you put it right there in the middle. We actually thought this would be a cool thing to have for one day when me and Kayla have kids to put on our door so we could tell people where we're going. And it's also just fun for the kids to do. So this was $20. And actually, surprisingly, I don't think this is a bad price for this. It is a very thick magnet. It's like very well made. Plus all the different things it has to offer, like catching our Z's, relaxing on deck, exploring the ship, taking in a show, adventure in the port, indulging our appetite, buying this perfect souvenirs, and relaxing in the pool. So this was one of the cool items that we got that I'm actually very happy with. And I said I've got it for $20. All right, so on to the things that were essentially free. And I say essentially free because still we had to pay to be on the ship. So to get some of this, we had to still pay for. So first two things was in our stateroom, and all staterooms, you can actually get a postcard. And not just one postcard, you can get two postcards. Sometimes more if you like. But what I love about these is I do love keeping these as an item because we do collect postcards and we actually do frame them. One of the big things we haven't done is we haven't put them up yet. I'm going to put them in our hallway leading in from the front door so people can see what things we like. And these are just going to go to our collections. And these were essentially free. Another thing you can do though is you can take these and you can send them off. But you can send them off from guest services. It used to have the mail post office on Castaway would be open. But unfortunately, it has not reopened since the pandemic, and from what we have been told, it will not reopen probably ever again. One of the other free items we got, and again, I say free with the quotes, is this. So it was a Marvel Day at Sea, and I'll give you my opinions on that in our review of our honest review of our Disney Dream Vacation video. But this was a window cling, and so this essentially just went onto the window on the first night because our Marvel Day at Sea was on the second night. And so we luckily were able to keep track of this, so I was able to fold it up. But it does say Marvel Day at Sea with the Cruise Line logo, and it has Miss Marvel, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Panther, and Spider-Man. Now, the other thing we got, these were actually part of something called fish extenders and being pixie dusted. Fish extenders just means that outside of your door, you end up hanging up you can hang up any sort of little thing that you can actually drop little gifts into, and people can pixie dust you and drop off things. But some of the cool things that we got dropped off were ducks. Me and Kayla have a slight obsession with collecting rubber ducks. And the gentleman who was dropped off these two ducks actually told me he had over 1,000 different ducks. So I ended up getting a Stitch duck and then a Little Mermaid duck. Which is kind of funny because I think the Little Mermaid was actually supposed to go to my sister. Which is fine. She'll get it back at some point, but I do like my Stitch. Now the very last thing, it's going to be part of if you're part of the Castaway Club. So Castaway Club essentially is that you've sailed on a Disney cruise before. So for like my mom, my dad, my little sister, and their friend Jennifer, this was their very first Disney cruise. Now that they've been on the cruise and they're now off the cruise, they are now officially silver members as long as they cruise within the next 5 years. But because me and Kayla, even though this is our 5th cruise, it's only counted as our 3rd cruise. But we still did get our silver rewards, and we got our next beach bag. Now, we already had a beach bag, so we actually gifted our beach bag to my parents, so they had it for Castaway Cay. And I really do believe this is probably the best gift they've given out. I like the slingbacks, but I really like this beach bag a lot more because I do love the very durable zipper on it. I love that the zipper has the cruise line logo in it. And even this doesn't feel that well made. The bag itself feels very durable, and it's very, very good to carry onto Castaway Cay. So there was a lot of other things we did get from Fish Extenders, but I was like, there's just too much to show you. I just really wanted to show you the ducks. And especially also, one of the last things, I'm keeping one of these, and we've laminated every single one of our luggage tags we've gotten now that we've been on our 5th Disney cruise, and I think we've gotten 5 out of the 10 different characters you can get for the luggage tag. So, but overall, like I said, it was a really, really, really fun Disney trip. There are aspects I was not a fan of, and where does this rank out of the 5 that we've done? You'll have to find out tomorrow, or you'll find out in the next video of our honest review of our Disney Dream Cruise vacation. But it's nothing bad. I actually not upset with it. Just some things I wish were better, if that makes sense. I'm really asking for a lot in comparison to where we were on the Disney Treasure to this. You kind of see where I'll come from with that. But overall, lots of fun merch to have, lots of new shirts to add to the collection, new magnets, nice window cling, some new pins to add to the collection because that's what me and Kayla do. It's our pin collection. It's just ever growing. So hopefully you guys learned a lot about Debarkation Day on the Disney Cruise Line, especially if you're going to be going out of Fort Lauderdale. We've officially done it at all 3 locations that the cruise line could have gone to. No longer do we go out of Miami, but at least we've done it out of Canaveral and Lauderdale. And since Lauderdale now has an officially designated port, it will be the same every time you go to that same port. So those luggage tags, the tables, the customs, that will all be the same with both Canaveral and Lauderdale. But honestly though, it just sucks leaving because now we're back home and I had to make my own food for the first time in like 6 days. And no one's going to make my bed for me. No one's going to make me little chocolates. No one's going to make me little towel animals. But it just means we have to book another cruise. At this point, we do not have another cruise booked for the time being. However, there might be a good chance we may get to go back. We get to go on to the Destiny later this year. No details on that yet. Just something that may be in the works right now with some friends. So we'll just see what there goes. Plus, my parents really want to look at doing another one. And I'd really like to take them onto the Treasure for one of the 7-night sailings. So maybe go back on the Treasure again. I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. We're not sure yet. If you guys help me out though by subscribing to the channel, leaving a like, watching the videos, the more you guys watch, the more that we can actually afford to go on these things, and the more you guys can experience it as well. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our entire week. We do have our review. I have a ship tour coming right behind us, so if you're curious where everything is on the Disney Dream, that will be happening very shortly after. So, but with all that being said though, now that I've been up for ungodly too long, I've been up since 5 a.m. this morning. It's now 10 p.m. But luckily, I made it work out. I do not have to be up early tomorrow, so I can sleep in tomorrow and wish I was waking up on the Disney Dream again. So, but thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Let me know what your favorite piece of merch was. Let me know some of the favorite things from our vacation was if you've watched every video. But with all that being said, as I do head off to go get some well-deserved sleep, I'll see you guys next time.